fikirlerinizi, düşüncelerinizi söyleyin diyorlar. Ben burada sizin sözünüzü hiç kesmeyeceğim ve konuyu size bırakıyorum.
Thank you very much. Gerek spas. Yes, we have answered your question in Kurdish and Turkish. So lots of Kurdish youth is asking you question, and I received many questions as well. They need to know in English what our expectations from Kurdish youth, and also what is our view about Kurdistan, and what is our work of United States of Kurdistan. So the Kurdish people are very respectful nation, and they are civilized nation. Kurdish nation is written history is known. The 10,000 years before the Jesus, means 2,000 years after, makes 12 years time period of Kurdish history is known in written literature. So the Kurdish nation is left during the great immigration from Scandinavia via the Caucasus and reached to the Mount Ararat, and from there they spread around. They live in there for more than 12,000 years. So during that time they have built lots of empires, the Kassites, the Medes, and so on. And during the Pharaoh of the Egypt, there were 3 big empires in the world, and 2 of them was Kurdish empires. So Kurds have a history, and also they have had the empires and states in the past. The Kurds have made agreement with the Ottomans, the rulers, in 1514. So they became ally. Since then, Kurdistan was part of Ottoman Empire as a Kurdistan. And from that moment on, the Kurds, I believe, lost their sense of independence. During the First World War, on the 1916, the French and British coalition occupied Ottoman land, and they draw new the border for new countries by the Sykes and Picot. Both were one English, one French generals in 1916. So yes, 1916. So after that, they have made agreement with all of those Arabic countries or other Western countries, those countries which has been recognized as state on the Ottoman's land. But Kurds reject to make agreement with the British and the French to fight against Ottomans. They said, we're going to honor our ancestors' agreement for the 1514 agreement, and we're not going to fight against Ottomans. And that's why French and British, the British first, who bombed the Kurds on the Kurdish territory, mountains, by the nuclear weapons, by the planes. So they poisoned the Kurdish people to control them, and they did not recognize Kurdish peoples. They recognize even they themselves drew the border for Kurdistan in 1916 by the Sykes and Picot, because Kurds did not make agreement with them. Since then, the Kurds are fighting from different part of Kurdistan, which was divided by the occupiers of the time. So also the Turks, mainly, they did not recognize even existence of Kurds. They create genocide every decade and so on the Kurds. So did Iraq, so did Syria, and did Iran. So the Kurds were not having any possibility to fight for their independence as one. So on different parts of Kurdistan, they were forced to fight separately, differently. However, many opportunities was available to them, but the Kurds all fought from different parts of Kurdistan for regional autonomy and the simple recognition on their own land from the new occupiers. So to look in the time, everybody keep watching the time. I realize that I cannot go whole in this story, but after I was forced to leave the Turkey, I was exiled in under 91 or 92. So I lived all around the world, and then when I moved to England, I talked with all the Kurdish politicians. Why we don't have the independence? Why we are not recognized on our own land as even refugee? So what the solution need to be done? And then came the Kurdish media organization, Kurdish parliament in exile, Kurdish National Congress, and so on. And when I was detained in this country, I'm not going to go into it because the request and permission for the Kurdish issue to talk here with you. So I'm not going to into that. But since then, I work harder with a team of experts to what to do, how to do. So we came up with the need of independence. Whole of Kurdistan has to be as one, and the whole of Kurdish nation need to be protected by the one state. That's mean United States of Kurdistan. I contacted and have had a very effective dialogue with all of Kurdish political parties, and I realized all of the existing Kurdish political parties, they are connected to one or more than one occupier of Kurdish land. So then I had to start it myself with people who I trust, have a trust in them. And after the 2017 referendum in Kurdistan, Kurdish people show very clearly, more than 95%, they need independence. And what I have had from expert team, that which I pay them myself, and that independence, how can be done. For the independence to be recognized, we need a map, we need passport, we need currency, we need identity, and we need the government and the minister's cabinet, and we created all of it. So now we are in the process of United Nations, United States of Kurdistan to be recognized, and United States of Kurdistan's government has been announced in the Lausanne of Switzerland, in the building of Chateau La Duché, in the same room where they divided Kurdistan. We announced there that the occupiers to know the Kurdish slap on their face. We're not going to accept them as owner of our land. They have to get out. We're not going to negotiate with them about how we're going to live. We're going to be fully ally militarily, economically, and culturally with Israel. And we're going to have a dialogue. We do have dialogue with another the countries like United Arab Emirates. We are fully in cooperation with America. This has already been announced. And our submission to United Nations clarified these conditions. And United States of Kurdistan's constitution, as I show you, also clarified those rules and regulations in the constitution. We're going to be fully democratic state. And they're going to be presidency, the system. And presidency going to be represented by two persons. One of them must be lady. And now we have our one lady friend who is general coordinator. I am myself has been announced as the president of it. And we're going to work to the election. And Kurdish people, all the opportunities came to them before to work for independence. They were not prepared for it. The occupiers, when they created other new occupiers on Kurdish land and on Ottoman land, they became guarantor of Turkey, Iraq, Syria, until 2023. So we have to be prepared for 2023. United States of Kurdistan is going to be recognized. We need to stabilize the Kurdish region, and ISIS were coordinated by Turkey and their close allies to convince everybody in the region, say we are Muslim and we all have to be under the one state. And we said no. Kurdish people proved that they are capable of protecting themselves, and we're going to put all of the religion out of our system. Our United States of Kurdistan, the constitution is leaving the religion to the families, and we're only going to teach in our country the religion history. We're not going to educate our children for particular religion, going to be out of the legal system. And our government is going to be totally democratic country, and we're going to be also the protector of the Israel, and our border from the Caspian Sea, Mediterranean, the Black Sea, Sinop, and also the Gulf of Kurdistan. Some people call it Persian or Basra. It's totally nonsense. It belongs to Kurdistan. Those countries were not even exist when Kurdistan were there independent, and so before 1923, the Kurds need to be ready for it. Kurds in diaspora, they have lots of responsibilities. They have to educate themselves by learning Kurdish history. Who are you? Where do you come from? What Kurdish people have done by now? And why we were not capable enough in the First World War to announce our own independence and make agreement with that time occupier. They should have, our leaders at the time should have realized that. Yes, the kings made agreement with the Ottomans in 1514, but the Ottoman was going to be finished. And Mustafa Kemal and his group, they made agreement with French and British to be the leader of newly built Turkey. Turkey was not exist before, and other nations also made agreement. Arabic the nation, they made agreement more than 10 countries built on the the Ottoman land, who they fought with occupiers against Ottoman. Why Kurds didn't do that? That was their mistake. We're not going to let that mistake happen again. And you and your camera and your TV tell the Kurdish nation they should make the Kurdish politicians to understand Kurds need a state, need independent, sovereign state. Partnership with Israel and with civilized countries, we have to talk. America also going to be our guidance. That's our policy. That's our government members and delegations are negotiating. And we already fully agree with Israel. And occupiers have to get out of our land. We will only have a discussion with them for how they will get out of Kurdish land. If not, we will force them to get out. So this is our position, our government's plan and deeds for Kurdish youth to recognize that. Gelek serçava dağıtın. Thank you very much to you and your camera and your the organization. And my love and respect to all the Kurdish people, Kurdish youth especially. They are very special, but they have to do special work either for independence. And my thanks to the government representative, my advocate, Mr. Van der Plas, my officer, and also everyone had done hard work to make this interview possible. Thank you.
There is no concrete evidence at all against Mr. Baybaşın. The evidence on which he has been convicted consists of fabricated telephone recordings. That means old telephone conversations turned out to be cut and pasted, and some taps turned out not to even exist. And these falsifications took place through close cooperation between the Dutch and Turkish police. We have even a statement of a Turkish policeman describing how he and his colleagues falsified the evidence against Baybaşın together with the Dutch police. We also have a Dutch policeman who was directly involved, who confirmed the falsification of the criminal file was used to blackmail the Dutch authorities to take action in a case against a Kurdish activist who at that time stayed in the Netherlands. I'm also the attorney of this Kurdish businessman named Mr. Baybaşın.
Ooh, bear make hits.
Life is cold now, yeah. Free Baybaşın. Set him free now, yeah. You have to set him free now, yeah.
Free Baybaşın, free Baybaşın out the cage. Got me going, got everyone going insane. Free Baybaşın out the cage. Got me going, got everyone going insane. Free Baybaşın out the can. Got me going, got everyone going so mad. Free Baybaşın out the cage. Got me going, got everyone going insane. Over 20 years, how can a man wait? Try to take a real man, how can a man hate? Lynched to London, 0 to 100, got them bugging. Got no evidence, you know that man, they start bluffing. Demic don't hide, cause time never lies. You're raping underage guys, that shit can't hide. When the truth comes out, it will end your life. A Kurdish man from DPK got them feeling a type of way.
I have accepted hostage in Holland by order of Turkey since 1995. The agreement between them is to be detained and cover up pedophile case against second man in Ministry of Justice of Holland. Your statement.
23 years, they suppressed the truth. They hid it well, they kept it quiet. So we scream, free Baybaşın out the cage. Got me going, got everyone going insane. Free Baybaşın.